Well, I'm really worried about what's going on, or what the election, I think, signifies in terms of where democracy is in America. And I think that, by and large, we live in a decoy democracy. We have basically all these institutions that once stood for robust ideals and ideas, but they've basically, I think, become shells of what they once stood for. And I think people are still so enthralled by the idea of them that they don't realize that they have acted as fronts for their own erosion of their own principles. And you can say that about the Constitution, you can say that about Congress, you can say that about all sorts of different ideals that America supposedly stands for. And what I'm really concerned about is that I meet so many people who think that democracy is healthier than ever because they've been whipped up into a frenzy by ad campaigns, by branding, by whatever. And most specifically, I am so concerned for the protest movement or the solidarity movement that once fought for all sorts of different kinds of equality for people. I feel like they've been co-opted and assimilated into the brand of democracy, and that everything that they offered once has been basically cored out and then resold, especially to college students, as kind of brand rebellion. So I went to like Eugene, Oregon, and they were all going around wearing their Obama stickers and their Obama buttons, and basically feeling like the spirit of the 60s there had gone completely underground, but the image of it was left. People still looked like hippies, they still looked like free thinkers, but they were actually unwilling to mount any sort of actual movement to fight for what they aesthetically seem to stand for. They say Barack Obama is going to be the face for a new kind of politics, and he's going to get us back our respect in the world. And I want to say to these people, how old are you? Do you believe that we had respect in the world before George Bush? We didn't have respect in the world because we've terrorized people for our own economic and military gain and strategic gain for centuries. And we've done that before George Bush, and we'll continue to do that after George Bush unless we address the very root causes of why we engage in interventions, why we exercise our military might to other people's disadvantage. And until we do that, it doesn't matter to people who are being bombed how pretty the words were that sent the bombs in. It doesn't matter to people who are suffering how much people talked poetically about end of suffering if they're still going to suffer. So if somebody says something like, what should we do about Iran? And it's like everybody has political amnesia, and they're like, I don't know, Iran is just this ex nihilo evil. I don't know why they started hating us so badly, but we've got to contain them, we've got to use force against them. And people fall in line, and they all use that kind of language. And then someone like Ralph Nader comes along and he says, wait a minute, you guys, could it be that maybe we destroyed Iran's democracy in the 50s, and then we hypocritically destroyed their neighbors' dictatorship in the name of our self-interest? And could it be the fact that we have nuclear weapons and we've used them, and it's hypocritical for us to tell other people when their nuclear weapons programs are dangerous? And he has some, he gives people a context for what's happening. He stands for solving the roots of problems.